You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV with Chris and Chums. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Pinterest. All you need for everything Leicester City FC. It's Leicester Till I Die TV.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on, you foxes!
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on and ready to go.
Good evening, fellow Fox fans. It's here. It's gunfight at the OK Corral. 90 minutes from the round of 16. 1 or 2 games off the quarterfinals. It's a small matter of this in about 53 minutes. Yes, it is. Oh, it did, but I didn't mean to press that. I'm just trying to take it all in. How are we feeling tonight? This is Leicester Till I Die. You can watch us live now on YouTube, Leicester Till I Die TV, Facebook, Leicester Till I Die the group, Twitter and Periscope at Leicester TID, and all the shows go on to podcast afterwards, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Anchor and Google to name but 4 under Leicester Till I Die. Have you seen the team? How are you feeling? You feeling confident? Are we going to do it? Or are you shitting it? I was kind of confident. Now, having seen the team, I'm shitting it. Let's see if my colleague is sharing my feelings. Oh, we're welcoming Josh. Good evening, Josh.
Evening, Chris. How are you, pal?
Well, like I say, up until about 10 minutes ago, I was nervous, but I've gone up from nervous, like I say, to shitting it now. I was a bit disappointed when we came back from, we hadn't had a good game in Prague. We hadn't at least conceded. This is 90 minutes. We've got to win this game. There's no draw. We haven't got any away goals to rely on. We are down to this 90 minutes. And I don't get this game of football. What has Brendan done? Let's have a look at the team. Can you explain it?
I wish I could for you, pal. I was as shocked as you, to be honest. I thought Ricardo would start for one. I thought Harvey Barnes was nailed on to start. Other than that, you got to think, well, obviously Maddison's out, so you can understand, obviously, Chowdhury coming in and him and Wilfred playing on the sort of double pivot. And then Yuri will obviously assume the number 10 role, I imagine. But yeah, it's left me as stunned as you, to be honest with you, mate.
I mean, it's almost like he's decided, let's hold on to it for 60 odd minutes, and then when they're tired, we'll bring the big guns on. Because we did chat before, and we are allowed 5 subs.
Yeah.
So you would hope that you would maybe see Ricardo, Castagna, Barnes, like you say, there's 3 of the 5. But you can't play that game that, well, let's keep it to 0-0 till it's 60 minutes. They're tired. We'll bring on all the big guns. If they score by 89, 90 minutes, we have got to score twice. And I'm not confident with that team.
I am confident and I'm not confident. Like I said to you before we went on air, the bench is... We've not got much attacking wise coming off the bench, apart from obviously, like I say, Harvey Barnes. So if we are chasing the game, we might struggle to create chances later on in the game. Like I say, if we are 1 or 2 goals down, I'm stunned, mate. To be honest, like I say, we spoke in the pre-match show, the Europa League show. Sorry, the other night, and I sort of thought, well, I thought he'd play Castagna right back and push Ricardo right wing, and Luke Thomas left back. But obviously, it shows what do we know.
and I think for the first time, Rodgers, and I'd love to know, and I say, if you're watching this, whichever the format, stick your thoughts on the team on. Please let us know what you're thinking, whether it's just us that are feeling this way. But he's obviously got Arsenal at the back of his mind. That's coming up on Sunday. That's a big game. I know they're only down in 10th. I know they're struggling, but it's a season when anybody can beat anybody, and they're still a big team, in fairness to them. So maybe that's at the back of his mind. But then, like I say, put the big guns on, get into the lead, then take them off to give them a rest.
You'd have thought that would be the case, mate. I just hope that, God forbid, we do lose tonight. It doesn't dent the confidence of the lads. I think if it's no coincidence, at the end of last season, I think really our form really dipped after we got beat by Villa in the semi-final second leg. I think after that, the confidence looked completely shot, to be honest. And I think that had a big part to play now. How we finished last season, albeit we sat in the top 4 all season, and then we essentially, you could say, blew it. Hopefully that don't happen this season. I think having seen the starting 11 in the team, I'm still confident we can get it done, but I'm not as confident as maybe what I was the other night when I was speaking to you about it. I think it is vital we do get an early-ish goal. I'd say it's important we try and get the first goal within the first 20, 25 minutes. Because if it's 0-0 leading up to the last 20 or so, then it's squeaky bum time for sure.
Yeah. I mean, okay, let's. I mean, I've probably calmed down a little bit now. So let's dissect the team as it is. I mean, Kasper. Yeah, I mean, I think we can say Kasper. Is had to be in there as the 2 centre backs, Evans and Soyuncu. I mean, at the start of the season, we'd have been saying they were our strongest 2.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think as much as last season they were fantastic, and so far for us this season they've been outstanding. For me, our main centre back, without doubt, is Johnny Evans. He's the leader at the back. As I've said to you before, I think personally he should be captain instead of Kasper Schmeichel. That's not a knock on Kasper at all. No. I just think Evans is a bit more of a leader. Kasper's very vocal, as we know. I think it's vital that them 2 stay fit, with obviously Fofana out. I don't know when he's coming back. So, yeah, as you said, mate, I think start of the season, you'd say they're our strongest 2. But obviously with Fofana 2 come back, hopefully, if we get through tonight, then it's just another centre-back we could bring in if needed.
Yeah, and I mean, like I say, those 2 at the back both got European experience. So, they're both, well, Evans obviously, and so obviously with Soyuncu as well. Okay, like I say, I'm actually starting now. I'm trying to talk myself into feeling a little bit more confident. Thomas at left back. The choices we had there, if it wasn't Thomas, I suppose were Fuchs or possibly Castagna. But Thomas has looked nothing if not confident in that position.
Definitely, and as we were talking about him the other night, for me on Sunday, my man of the match against Villa, he was absolutely outstanding, and you picked up on it as well. I think the link up play between him and Harvey Barnes were absolutely brilliant. It was some of the best. Yeah. I'd say it was some of the best link up play I've seen down right hand side or left hand side since probably the title winning season, such as down the right hand side we had Simpson and Mahrez. Fair enough. Mahrez didn't really get back as much because Simpson didn't really overlap, and it was really good to see, and it just showed that Thomas's maturity levels is really, really coming on, and I've got no qualms with him starting at all, mate. I think had Fuchs started, you could sort of understand it going through a bit more experience, but Thomas for me, from Sunday's performance, there's no way you could drop him.
No, this is and younger legs than Fuchs, bless him. I love Fuchs to bits, but he younger legs there. For me, the weak link in this position, and because I don't like him in this position, Amati at right back. We've got Castagna and we've got Ricardo, who both of them you would think would be above Amati in the pecking order for that position. Marty's, he's a utility. He can play different positions. That, I suppose, is the big surprise.
The only reason I can see Marty starting is, like I said, it's not a knock on him at all. Because again, he's another player that we didn't think we'd see much of this season, and when he's come in, he's done really well. I can only really see why he's starting is because obviously Ricardo's just coming back from a long injury, and Castagna's just coming back from a knock as well. So whether Brendan's sort of looking at that thinking, well, we can't really afford to lose either of them again with tough games coming up. So he started Amati right back. I think he's all right. He's all right at right back. I'd much prefer him centre back. But again, when he's played there this season for us, I don't think he's not done bad. So hopefully that continues tonight. Fingers crossed.
Indeed, he sat there in the middle again. That's good news that he's putting Ndidi there, and I don't think any of us would argue with that decision. I suppose the surprise with Ndidi playing is Chowdhury, because you got a couple of defensive there. That maybe shows Brendan's maybe a little bit worried about what they're going to bring to the game and how they can hurt us.
Maybe I think the Maddison injuries maybe ruined his plans looking forward to this game, regardless. Because I think other than maybe if you play Mendy instead of Chowdhury, but you're still going to get the same outcome to two defensive midfielders. Other than that, I don't really think he's got much of a choice. You've got the young lad Tavares on the bench. I think he plays midfield area. So what do you start? Does he start him, throw him in at the deep end? But I think obviously with the importance of the game, it weren't the wisest decision. So it toss up between Chowdhury and Mendy for me. I think when Chowdhury come on last week, I thought he played really well and he got stuck in as well. So maybe that was the thinking towards starting him over Mendy.
Nothing against Chowdhury. I love him to bits. I didn't want him to go to Newcastle. I wanted him to stay. I think he's a great squad player. And like you say, it's a case of what other choice was there. I know when Craig, who does the preview show for the Premier League with me, he was picking his team for Arsenal, and he actually had Inacho in that role. But even he can't play because he's suspended for this game. So it's beginning to make sense. Tielemans again, if you've got to sort of say definitely, one of the starters there. Or Brighton, he's not played for a few weeks, so he should be fresh coming into this, shouldn't he?
Yeah, does it look like Albrighton is going to be on the right-hand side? Is that what we're saying? Under would be on the left or under on the right?
I've got under on the right, but yeah, I could be only because that's 9. That's only I've only seen him play on the right.
Yeah, of course, mate. I'm really surprised Barnes ain't starting. He's obviously played a lot of football for us this season. He's been arguably, I'd say our best player so far this season, without doubt. He's come on leaps and bounds. Maybe Brendan's resting him because as I say, he's played a lot of minutes and he needs a bit of a break. But other than that, the only reason I can see is why, like you said, if we try and hold out for 70 minutes and then bring Barnes on for his pace, and then he can run at their defence and hopefully go from there.
Mark said exactly what we were saying, very defensive lineup. But as we're going through it, I'm actually feeling a lot better about the team now I'm talking about it, because I can see why he has done. I mean, you know, or Brighton, let's be honest with you, him and Vardy, you can't. I'm finding it hard now. I was disappointed when I first saw the team, but I'm actually now finding it hard to go find fault with them. We're like, yeah, I can see why. I'm going to say good evening to Stefan. We're doing fine. Hope you're doing well, Stefan. A Villa fan, he's coming to see what it's like to talk about Europe. It's been a while for you, mate. This is what it feels like to talk about Europe. And Lee Cat, good afternoon, Lee. How the devil are you, sir, as well? Okay, let's have a look at under. We've been screwed. I can't moan because we've been screaming for him to start.
And I'm one of them that's asked for him to start for a long time. Again, I don't think it's any coincidence that he's starting in the Europa League. I think Brendan obviously sees him much more of a European football, suits his game a lot better. I didn't think when he played, he started against. Did he start against these last time? Yeah, I think he's a dangerous. He is a dangerous player for us, and when he's on it, I think he's shown he's not played that much football for us so far. But I think he's shown in glimpses and flashes what he can do. The only criticism I would have is sometimes he tries to do a bit too much, and I've noticed on a few games as well where he'll shoot from about 40 yards out. He ain't scared of having a pop. And I know one day one of them's going to fly in, you know, from one of his long ranges. But I think sometimes he probably chooses the harder option right over, you know, like an easy pass here and there.
Yeah, I must admit, it reminds me very much of Kramaric. And I used to love him. And I remember going to watch, it was obviously the Great Escape season. And I can remember Leicester getting up to the edge of the box and literally looking too scared to shoot, to you know, oh, I can shoot or I can pass it, or I'll pass it. And we were passing it across. Kramaric used to come on. Okay, didn't always come off, but at least he was having a shot. And you know, I get that sometimes we do play really lovely football, but sometimes I'm screaming out, come on, just have a shot, you know, test the goalie. Under at least will do that.
Yeah, he's not scared of having a pop, is there?
nothing wrong at all. You know, he can hit the goalie's arse and go in.
Exactly, yeah.
As it did, don't know what game it was, but it was on the news this week where the ball hit the post, came back, hit the goalie's head, and went in.
That's it, yeah. I think was that a championship game this week? I remember seeing it.
I can't remember the teams. But I'm thinking, like, how unlucky is that?
Yeah, I know. One of them where the keeper couldn't do anything about it, unfortunately.
Yeah. And we have got 5 subs. We are allowed 5 subs tonight. And, you know, when you look at sort of who we've got on the bench, we said before, Tavares is, somebody posted in the group earlier, would he get the chance? You know, he's highly spoken of, as is Lasbala. Flynn, I've got to be totally honest with you, I don't know anything about. And for those younger ones that are watching, Jupukovic is a goalkeeper, used to play for Hull. We signed him. I think Ranieri might have signed him. I'm not sure, but he's been there a while, and he does occasionally pop up. He's a bit like Dracula, isn't he? He just comes out when it's dark. But you know, technically, and let's hope he's not scared of crosses. Bum. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
I'll give you that. That was pretty good.
Thank you. It's a strong bench if we need it. And like I say, you know, having the 5 subs, if we do need to bring somebody on, there's some really good names there, isn't there, obviously?
Yeah. I mean, like I say, it's attacking-wise, if we are chasing the game, I sort of question who we'd bring on to make a difference. Obviously, like I say, Harvey Barnes, because that's without saying. Maybe he's looking at if he has to bring on Ricardo again for right wing, because I thought Sunday he were outstanding in that role. And what I noticed a lot more about him was he would come in centrally a lot more, and it involved him in a lot more of the attacks. As it showed, he had 2 or 3 shots where they were decent enough chances. So it's good to know that, when Justin comes back, we could sort of shoehorn Ricardo, Castagna and Justin into the same team and know that it's going to work. I think, like you say, with 5 subs, if it comes to it and we do make all 5, then there's a good chance we are going to see a couple of the younger lads come on.
Yeah. Stefan, a message for you here, Josh. It says, take the Leicester top off and put an Aston Villa one on.
I will say, all banter aside, obviously we got the result on Sunday, but I think, him being a Villa fan, I think he should be pleased with how they're getting on this season. They might be tailing off a bit, but they've had a good season for me.
Yeah. If you haven't got one, mate, you can have my my Aston Villa top, but at the moment it's in the toilet next to the toilet roll. Best thing for a Villa top. No, Stefan, we know we joke. It's just you were crap and you lost 2-1 to us at the weekend. What can I say? Mark, welcome back, Mark. If Thunder has a good game and impresses tonight, it will go for him towards a permanent move. Brendan has given him a chance. Hopefully, good management again. You are now Stefan's friend, apparently. Stefan, wow. You need to get out more if you're that desperate to get a friend.
That's all right. Hey, use all the friends I could get, to be honest with you. So even if he is a Villa fan,
we're going on this talking of the Villa. Oh, look at that, 2-1 to Leicester. Win for us at the weekend. Slavia away, and yes, I have spelt Prague correctly. That's the local spelling. Could only manage a draw with Teplice. That said, they've still not lost a game this season. In their own domestic league.
Yeah, they're on a really good run, and I think you can say what you want about the Czech football. I mean, I don't follow it at all. I know a couple of teams, and obviously our opponents tonight, but you can only play what's in front of you, and for them to be unbeaten for however many games now, and I think they've only drew 4. They've won the rest in the league. I know the team they drew against at the weekend. They're 14th, so they're not coming into it on a great result, but might put a bit of fire under the bellies to perform a bit better tonight. So we need to be careful.
I mean, this is probably excuse me. This probably won't mean much to you or me at all, but that is the Slavia Prague team. The only thing I do know from that is Kutsha, who's sort of number 16 up the top there. He's actually the lead scorer in the Czech league at the moment.
Going off the first leg, I was quite impressed with their attacking actually, and the way they played football. They played some good stuff. I know, albeit be on their home pitch, so they were used to what we've all been told, and from what we've seen, weren't an ideal playing surface. So. But another player I'm impressed with was is it Seymour, their right wing. I thought he causes quite a few issues. He's pretty nippy as well. So again, I think it's hopefully it's a bit more open than what the first leg was, but hopefully it's more open for us rather than against us anyway.
We just can't afford to concede, can we?
We can't, and if we are to concede, I know it sounds daft, but I'd rather it be really early in the game, obviously, to give us more time to come back. But if, God forbid, we're 1-0 up going into the last 10 minutes and we're, defending for our lives, it's going to be nerve-wracking to say the least. As kickoff's getting closer, I'm more and more nervous about it now.
I know, but I have gone. So are you more of the confident side? Is that more you, or are you more of the SpongeBob SquarePants?
I'm still confident, but there's just that there's the niggling doubt of, like you say, there were no goals scored in the first leg. So for me, it's a straight shootout. To be honest, it's literally a case of who wants it more tonight. Hopefully it's us.
Let's take worst case scenario. We lose. We're out. It's not going to be the end of the world, is it? Because we're fighting at the moment on three fronts. Like a lot of teams out there, we have a lot of good evening to Brookline, by the way. Nice, thanks for joining us. There's a lot, and that's a little message there for Stefan at the bottom. We didn't like the score goes up, so I just thought I'd put that there for you, Stefan. Like to make you feel at home, you know what I mean? And hands across the Midlands, as they say. But no, let's say we lose tonight. The squad is stretched, we know that. If it means that we're going to be stronger in the challenge for those top four places, because City are still in Europe, Liverpool are obviously at the moment, Chelsea are, Tottenham are, Arsenal will know tonight with us, but you know they're still going to have to play domestic cup games. They're certainly going to have to play European Cup games. It's just one less. I mean, like I say, I want to win. Obviously, I want to win. I'd love to win the damn thing, you know, just to shut the Nottingham Forest fans up. But is it that bad if we do lose?
Yes and no, really. Obviously, you want to go as far as you can. I think coming into the season, I were hoping for a good Europa League run, and I thought if we could get to maybe the quarters, then it'd been a successful campaign, because I thought a good Europa League run. I thought anywhere in the top 8 of the Premier League, so are expecting the Premier League to be a bit more, say, competitive than what it is this season. As we know, it's a strange old season. I didn't, to be honest with you, mate. I really didn't at the start of this season. I didn't think we'd be doing as well as we are. I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised, because we know with the players we've got a good run in us, and you know for the performances we're putting in, that doesn't shock me. I think I'm more surprised with the injuries we've had to contend with and how well we are doing this season. I'd be disappointed in the fact that I think so far with how much football we've played, the squad's done really, really well. Brendan's managed us really well, managed the players, managed rotating the players really well. So I think if we were to go out, then it might be a case of, well, what if? Because we have been doing so well with what feels like at least two games a week so far, every single week. But I don't want to say I wouldn't be disappointed, because whenever we lose, I'm always disappointed, and I can't really talk to anybody for a few hours. But as you say, I suppose you'd look at it and you think, well, maybe it gives us more of a chance to sort of focus on definitely trying to cement that top 4 place. I think, you know, you like you say, you look at the likes of Spurs and such. I think they're a team now that have sort of maybe gave up on top 4 in the league, and they're focusing on Europa as a way to get into the Champions League. I think they're a team that could. Everybody takes a piss out of Spurs, but I think they're a team that could potentially win it. But yeah, I'd be disappointed more so than not. I'd be disappointed more so not than disappointed, if you know what I mean. Yeah. But whenever we lose, it's crap anyway.
No. I agree totally. Good evening, Scott. Vardy to score a brace, and Barnes and Under both assisting. Barnes in the 80th minute, 3-1 Leicester. Well, that's if he comes on, of course, Scott, because he's on the bench at the start. Mad Jason, good evening. I hope you're not going to be mad later and that we're celebrating a win. Rob looks a bit defensive. Are we going to hit on the counter? We went through the team earlier. I think obviously you missed that, and it was a case, I think, of what was available to him. To Brendan at the start, and I've got to be honest with you, I always get nervous about this, and yet what has Brendan done wrong? You know, he's got us through to the round of 32 in the Europa, he's got us through to the quarters of the FA Cup again, you know, he's got us sat in comfortably in the top 4. You know, apart from Liverpool, we've not lost to one of the top, you know, so-called big 6 sides this season. He kind of knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
Just a bit, just a bit. I think he's sort of one of the managers where if he ever does get questioned, he'll always come back with a very good result. I think even you look at, I think before the Arsenal game this season away when we beat them 1-0, there were sort of people questioning his method of play and maybe his tactics and substitutions, and then we beat Arsenal, and then we went on another decent run, didn't we? So he's always got that in him. And for me personally, I mean, I love Brendan. I think it'll be I'd love for him to stay for us for the next 10 years, but unfortunately, the way football goes now, you don't really see managers around that often. But fingers crossed, he sees his future with us anyway, rather than buggering off to a so-called bigger team.
Indeed. Bookline, good point there. Brighton and Under will widen the attack. Mad Jason there. Last time the other team played dirty, they did seem to go down quicker than a Hall's knickers, to be honest with you. But allegedly, not that I know, but allegedly, I should add that. It's true what you said about Brendan, but do you know what? A lot of these managers make more money off compensation than actual wages. Lampard, he knew when he went to Chelsea, surely that this wasn't a job for life. If they can sack somebody like Mourinho, if they can sack somebody like a legend like Lampard, that they're not gonna keep you there that long if things aren't going well. Leicester are no different to that, in fairness. Let's be honest with you, and I've said this very, very recently. Just you look at Leicester, and it was like, how within a season of winning the Premier League, Claudio had gone. That said, I think as things stand at the moment, if Brendan carries on as he does, I think he's got to look and go, I could stay here for a reasonably length of time, get a really good contract, or I could go to a Chelsea, I could go to a Spurs, but what's going to be expected of him there? If let's say he gets us to third this season, but next season we're fifth or sixth, that's still good for Leicester. Definitely. If he does that, Spurs sacked Pochettino after getting them to a Champions League final and European football every year. Like I say, Chelsea sacked Mourinho twice. The attraction, apart from money, that's all it is, surely, at these big clubs.
I think so. I think you're right as well. Most top level managers go into a job nowadays and they think, well, they're going to be earning decent enough money, weekly wage, and then I think it's the only job in the world where you get sacked, you get sacked, and you get a really decent payout for it. I think,
and a job within a couple of weeks normally.
Yeah, exactly. You just look at the mess Newcastle got in with Pardew when they gave him like an 8-year deal and sacked him after 2 years of that. So they were paying his wages for another 6. So it's crazy. I think we're in sort of the position now where, and I've said this before, winning the league for me, being a Leicester fan was sporting was the greatest thing that'll ever happen to me as a Leicester fan.
Yeah.
But having said that, I think it sort of spoiled us in hindsight, because I think now some fans, not all of us, we look at that now and think, well, how come we're not contending every single season? So I think we've said it before, Chris. You look back at where we were this time 10, 15 years ago, playing, we had the likes of Elvis Hammond, Mark De Vries, and then, we're going down to League One 10, 11, 12 years ago. To think where we are now, you should be pinching ourselves, really. It's never dull being a Leicester fan anyway.
It's not, but it's all about expectations, isn't it? And I'll admit, I'll hold my hand up here. I fall into that trap myself, and it's very easy. We probably ran before we could walk. Really, it would have been better maybe to come a couple of years ago. That said, bloody glad it did happen. The news, that's why it sat behind me just there. Don't tell the Premier. Apparently, though, the news is that, of course, Harry and Meghan, talking of Tottenham, Harry and Meghan have actually been in contact with Daniel Levy because they want to find out what it's like to live without a title. I'm here all week, folks.
Very good. That's two good ones you come out with tonight.
I haven't got one for after show now. What am I going to do?
Use them all, you see. You have to think something.
But right, well, we're about 21 minutes off kickoff, so I'm going to let you go because I'm going to go as well. I will see you again on Sunday for hopefully if we can get the watch along going.
Yeah.
Let's leave with a score prediction. I'm nervous, and I know I was accused the other day of being a cop out by Craig because I always go for this score. This score, it's going to be tight. It really is. And I have a feeling 2-1 again. What about you, Josh?
I'm not going to change my my prediction from the other night in the pre-Europa League. So I'm going to stick with, even though the team's not what I thought it was going to be, I'm going to stick with 2-0. I think, as I said the other night, I think we'll get an early-ish goal and then it'll be a bit touch and go until the 75th minute, and then I think we might break away and get that vital second. Fingers crossed. Anyway, just to ease the tension a little bit.
I can't even remember. I'm so nervous. I can't even remember what I went for the other night, to be honest with you. We've got Brookline going here, 3-0 Leicester. Bloody hell, Brookline. I hope so. That'd be well good. Well good.
Fingers crossed.
Might have some nails left at the end of it. Tony agrees with you 2-0. Rob saying, yeah, all those years ago, I was at Yeovil on a wet Tuesday night. I've got to be honest with you. For everybody that was at Yeovil on that wet Tuesday night, I would think they play at Old Trafford because I think everybody that says they were there. And we filled the stadium twice just with our fans. Anyway, Josh, fingers crossed, mate. At the end of the day, let's hope. Because if we do get through, we're going to have, I know you're at work tomorrow, but we're going to have a live draw. It's at 12 o'clock tomorrow, the draw, just to let you know why they do it during the day, God only knows. But I thought I had it, but I don't have it. But it is 12 o'clock tomorrow, the live draw, and hopefully we're doing a live show. But I will see you on Sunday for the watch along with the Arsenal game. Fingers crossed, we'll still be in Europe.
Nice one, Chris. Pleasure as always, pal. Thanks for having me.
Thanks very much. Thanks a lot. Take care. Stay safe.
Enjoy the game, bud. And you, mate.
And you. Cheers, mate.
Ta-ra, pal.
Enjoy. Ooh, I don't know if that is actually the word or not. Got plenty of toilet roll? I order some extra just in case. Plus, of course, I have got the Villa shirt to wipe my arse on if I need to. Mustn't forget that, of course. 18 minutes, getting nervous. Going to go off, watch the game. We'll see you at about 10:30 with Josh for the post-match show. Let's hope we are doing this. And let's hope we've not been doing that. This is Leicester. We ain't going to do anything easy. It's a roller coaster. You know, I know, it always is. Please give us a subscribe on YouTube at Leicester Till I Die TV. We really could do with those subscriptions. Click on that button. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for your comments. Even Stefan, the Villa fan, thanks for joining us, mate. One day, this may be you. You know it's banter. Take care, guys. See you about 10:30 afterwards. Here's the Leicester Up the Foxes.
Hello, Matt Elliott here. Be sure to watch Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and follow all their social media platforms for all the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor and all podcast platforms.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.